And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Talk Now Live. This is the CTN Crypto Roundtable. So grateful that you guys have joined us here. We have Sean, the crypto smith, Wadi, the crypto hunter, and Daniel Gayton, of course. 16 beautiful people here already. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would, please hit the like button. We appreciate it so much. Let us say hello to everybody here on the round table. If you guys are wondering, by the way, where Max is, unfortunately, Max could not join us because he has, at the last moment, got a call from the hospital. He has to pick up his dad from the hospital. So that's what's going on. So the game, if you guys were looking forward to the game show, it'll be aired next Wednesday, so a week from today. So how are you doing today, Sean?
I'm actually doing very well. Thank you. Very well.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
How about you, Wadi? How are you doing?
I am great. I had a pretty interesting day. That's why I didn't get to live stream, but I'm here.
All right. Well, glad you're here. How about you, Daniel? How are you doing this evening?
Doing great. Getting the day, work day over and crypto day started.
All right, cool. All right, before we get into the show, we would like to ask you guys to please drop some really good questions. We do have some questions prepared, but we would like to make this as interactive as possible for the roundtable. So drop your questions in the chat, and we'll be sure to do our best to answer them all. But yes, the better the question, so to speak, the more of a chance it has to getting asked here. Let's say hello to everybody here, and then we'll get into what we're going to talk about. Eddie T is here. Thank you so much for being here, Eddie T. KK is in the building. He says, hello, LCX Jasmine, XLM, all on sale. No coupon needed. All right. So Daniel Gayton is saying hello to everybody. Brian Dowie is here. Perhaps he's saving up after he cashes out his crypto to get a bidet. GS, the Good Samaritan, GS Lexus 350 says, yo, I'm glad you're here. As we go through, everyone's saying hello to one another. Also saying hello to Crypto Holmes. 777 is here. Hello, everyone. Sean, of course, saying hello to everybody. The Crypto Smith. River saying hello to everybody here. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Selmo Fudd is back in the building, an OG of OGs. He asks about XRP, and he doesn't even have it in his wallet. He knows who I'm referring to. I'm not sure who that would be. Yeah. So, all right. Bobby Lorette, good evening, everyone. Brian Dowie, Larry D. Caroline, no, she hasn't made it to my house. I might have to move if she's heading over here.
Get that seed phrase first.
All right,
River. But why will you move, Larry? She's gonna give you the C phrases.
Okay, there you go.
You better make room for her lawyers if she's coming over.
Yeah. Selma Fudd, the answer to it reaching $1 in May 2023 is no. Okay. Oh yeah, I asked the question about my XRP. I think Selma Fudd was teasing me. Yes, I actually own XRP now. I think I've owned it for 3 weeks or so. I asked the question if we think that XRP can get to $1 by May of 2023. Selma Fudd says no. All right, so thank you for that. Coochie Boy is here. Mrs. Wadi, the crypto hunter, Queen Perseverance is here.
Wadi looks us. Hey, babe.
Brian Dowie says, Larry, I already have the bidet. Caroline loves it. All right. Oh boy. Let's see here. Larry, I sent her your way. Careful, she's a fighter. Okay. I will share this real quick. Hold on one second here. Let's see. Share it as a window on my Microsoft Edge. Let's just real quick remind you guys that you can sign up for ctnnetwork.net. And once you do that, you can create a profile here. You'll be featured over here in the member section. And we do have a feature where you can chat with one another right here. And we'll be adding more and more content. But these are the people that have signed up. But we do have a chat feature that's available on every page. And we also have, if you go back to the front page, the homepage, so to speak, we have all the creators that are here right now. We will make an announcement. We have, I think, 3 new creators on here. So, of course, we have everybody here that's on the panel, Daniel, Wadi, and Sean, the Crypto Smith. But we have 3 new people. As promised, every Wednesday we'll announce it. We have Kung Tech Fu, Legal Alien. You guys know him, Tony, and Michael Montclair. have all been
Nice.
added. And then one more quick note here. This is, again, ctnnetwork.net. If you go into the community button right here, I'll show you guys something. You can download our app right here. This is just a disclaimer. You can come over here to the right and you can download our app by clicking on this link right over here. And then you can do messaging and stuff like that and interact with the community on your phone a little bit easier. So without any further delay, let's go over and get our panel going here, our CTN roundtable discussion. I'm going to start out with a question from Sean. Thoughts on the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, if you guys don't know what it stands for, stating that they want to regulate crypto and not ban it outright. Whoever wants to grab that one first.
I'll grab it. I don't think it's the best news possible, but I don't think it's the greatest news possible. It's somewhere in the middle, right? Because, the devil's in the details. Do you overregulate it to the point where, a lot of cryptocurrency projects aren't going to be able to operate? So I think that's yet to be seen, right? What does them regulations look like? But the good part about it is it's just not an outright ban.
What's up, Waddy?
Huh?
What's up, Waddy?
Oh no, my
Look like you're about to fall asleep. man.
no, my neck, like tremors is a little off the hook today. But go ahead, Sean.
So so I'll agree. Obviously, there's good and bad in everything. The fact that they're even looking at it is probably a good thing because they're not going to allow whatever they don't want to allow. I mean, they've got big power in this world, the WF and the IMF. But it is in the details. That's where the devil lives, and they're really only talking about regulating stable coins and CBDC type products. They would love to get rid of everything else, right? They don't want any other they don't want any other crypto to be used as currency, and that's kind of what they're thinking. So they're trying to move around back a little bit and say, hey, we're open to cryptocurrencies, but really they're open to stable coins and CBDCs. And if a currency comes out or anybody tries to make a currency like legal tender, they're going to want to squash that as quickly as they can, unless it's backed by something that they approve of. So that's kind of really where they're going. But obviously, an outright ban, they couldn't really ban it anyway. They would have to leave that up to different governments to try to squash it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Sean and Daniel. I don't think that they are going to be able to ban it regardless. And on top of that, they are trying real hard to take it down. And I just find it's an interesting timing. The whole FTX thing, Luna, and Celsius, Voyager, everything that's been going on, and now out of nowhere, the government wants to come out after every freaking exchange possible. So I mean, some people think that they're actually trying to ban also CBDC from happening. So maybe it's more about the old powerful US dollar more than anything. They don't want to lose control.
I don't know. I think Waddy, I think you touched on exactly why regulation is moving fast. Celsius, Voyager, FTX, all these things. That's exactly why we are where we are. I mean, we would have got here anyways, but it's speeded the process up. Let's face it, cryptocurrency didn't do itself any favors in 2022. So you can't act like cryptocurrency acted in 2022 and expect people not to come in and correct your behavior. Regulation, they gave these actors in cryptocurrency gave regulators every opportunity to come in and regulate them. We can't cry about it now because the the industry did it to themselves.
Yeah, and then of course you've got the little guy out there, the mom and pop retail investors that are crying about it too, and they're begging for regulation as well.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of where what it stems from, of course.
And you're never going to get big, huge investors. Retail investors will not drive cryptocurrency. Bull run will not drive the crypto. You need these big name investors to come in. They're not coming in under the current structure. So, they want regulation. They're going to get regulation.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that, guys. Before we get into our next question, let's say hello to everybody. And before we do that, if we guys that are watching would just please hit the like button, we'd really appreciate it. Get it out there to as many people as possible. Tim Shea says, hey, thank you so much, Tim Shea, because that's what he says. Crypto Lounge, Michael is here. And if you guys want to know more about Michael, you go over to ctnnetwork.net, click on creators right here. And as you scan down, there it is right there, Crypto Lounge. Click on this button right there. It brings up his channel. You guys can subscribe to Crypto Lounge. So we'll keep him up there while we go through the rest of the comments and say hello to people. Big Watch Dude is here. What's up, Big Watch Dude? Says hello to everybody. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Hope everybody's well. Yes, we're doing good here. Welcome to Keltra is here.
Hey, babe.
Let's see who else is here. Ryan is here. Thank you for being here, Ryan. And there's going to be a question coming up here soon, but I want to make sure I said hello to everybody. Prophet is here. Thank you so much for being here, Prophet. And let's make sure Mr. J Crypto is here as well. Coochie Boy is here. Thank you for being here. Now we're going to go back to a question from the audience here. It's from Mr. Lambos. Crypto Talk. Thank you for being here, Mr. Lambos, Crypto Talk. He says, where do you guys see Bitcoin going from here at this point? Down back to the teens or straight up to 30K?
We're going down, baby.
I think we're
I'm
going
going to
down.
disagree. I'm going to disagree.
You're going to disagree? Okay.
I'm going to disagree. I don't know. We're going down into the teens, but I mean, we're going to, I think we're going to fluctuate and consolidate here for a while, but unless we have, some big negative news out there in the market, I don't see us really crashing down. And of course I don't see us just, moonshotting up either. This is going to be a slow walk, I think, for a while.
Okay. So let me ask you this: more negative than the fact that, which I think already 3 days happened, Russia threatened Ukraine.
But that's over. I mean, we have to take one negative news, item at a time and kind of see how that impacts. And usually it impacts that same day, right? The instant the news comes out, it's going one way or the other. And it doesn't take time to really work that out, which is nice to see in a market. Obviously, to find, the stock market works the same way. It's instant, right? If you have any doubt on if a news item is positive or negative, you just need to look at the market and it will correct very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a matter of fact, that was one of the reasons why we took the first hit, which went from 23 all the way to, hold on, actually, I'm looking at the wrong chart. It went from 23,431 all the way to 22,870 something. I think probably that was the down part. But according to the 4-hour chart, still looking bearish. And let me look at the 1-day chart real quick.
If you want to share your screen, Waddy, you can. If you want to, it's up to you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you mind watching a coloring book? Hold on, I got you. Wait. Gotta go here, and then I gotta go share tab. Actually, percent share screen.
And guys, while Waddy's bringing that up, if you would hit the like button, we've got 33 people in here, so we're doing good so far. 27 minutes in. If you guys would hit the like button, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, while Waddy's bringing that up, I think we're headed back down. I think there's too much negative news, too much negative data. I'm really not so much really on the news as I am the data. I think the data doesn't support us going on a big run, and you know we could be looking at a 50 basis point rate increase in March if this data keeps coming in the way that it keeps coming in. So, and that'll shock the markets. 25 basis points is priced in, 50 basis points is not. And if it goes down to 50 in March, it'll shock the markets. And the big news out there that I'm really watching that I think will probably take the markets down is the Russia-Ukraine war, but with China. Damn, I need a drink. But with China starting to step up and really back Russia right now and talk about kind of sending them weapons and everything else, in the United States and some of the other nations looking at sanctioning China. If there's sanctions on China and this is widespread, it'll destroy the market. It'll make the markets go down because we won't be able to get the goods we need to. I'm pretty sure China's not going to say, well, thank you for your sanctions and we appreciate them and we'll just take them and do nothing about it. So I think there'll be some fallout from that. So
yeah, it doesn't look good for the war right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, so picking a fight right about now, I think that's the worst idea in a sense with China, but yeah.
China's going to have to be really careful because they're trying to pick a fight on two fronts right now, right? They're rattling their swords for Taiwan. You know, they sent some warships and some planes that direction. They're not going to be able to fight on two fronts or support on two fronts with any sort of authority. So I think it's going to be tough for them if we impose sanctions and other parts of the world. Obviously, our friends impose sanctions on China. And I don't have the data for this because I haven't read all the articles, but I know there's a lot of much smarter people than I that say that it's going to destroy China from the inside. So I think they're going to have to really pick their moves carefully going forward. I understand, I totally understand what they're saying. We're telling them, hey, you guys shouldn't get involved and provide weapons to Russia, and they're like, well, what are you talking about? You guys have been providing weapons to the Ukraine for a year now. So
yep.
We have no room to speak. I totally agree. My personal opinion, it's not our war. I don't know why we're spending, hundreds of billions of dollars when there's a lot of better things here in the U.S. we could probably be spending that money on.
I don't disagree with that. I agree with everything you just said, Sean. I don't think we should be, we're spending tons of money and we're not getting a benefit out of it. But I just think that with these sanctions, I just don't think that China is going to say, thank you. I think, we get a lot of our goods from China. We send a lot of our goods to China. China is one of the leaders of, we've seen what happened in COVID, right? When China quit shipping, their conductors over, we couldn't make cars, we couldn't make computers, we couldn't finish phones, we couldn't do all this other stuff. I can see that happening again with these sanctions. I don't think that China's just gonna, fold their tent and go home because we told them that we were going to sanction them. I just don't see that happening. I see a bigger fallout, and I can see them, not shipping stuff and put us back into that same situation, which will tank the market.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. That definitely would.
So go ahead, Wadi. Do you want to share anything on the chart or?
No. So basically, what I was just looking at, I know it looks mighty confusing because I usually keep my support lines and the prices that I'm expecting to go to, and these are the prices. Technically, obviously, it got rejected 25,144. It went down to this one. It already broke down. It went to the 22,875. but then we got a little bit recovery. But my next target that I am expecting, if it doesn't bounce off this line right here, then we will see that will be the bounce around 20. Wait, let's just round it up to 2350. If it bounces from there, then we could see it go up, down like that. But if it doesn't bounce, then obviously it might get rejected right here, and we're gonna start the slow downtrend. Everything else is pointing out that we should be going down dramatically. Well, not dramatically, but significantly.
All right, and thank you for that. And then thank you to Crypto McDizzle for the $99 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much. The super sticker.
You can buy some more XRP with that, Larry.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going back to see. Yeah, here's the question I was looking for. I got a little distracted. There it is. Ryan says, this is a good question, actually. What do you guys think? Now, I don't know if he's talking about in the U.S. or not. Let's just say the U.S. Because they're talking about it in Australia and different parts of the world, obviously the CBDC. When do you guys think the CBDC will be ready or rolled out in the U.S.? Will it be in 2023, 2024, maybe 2025? What's your thoughts on that?
2025 or later.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'll push it back.
Yeah.
We're not even starting. Like they're not even in a planning phase, really.
I would say if we get it in 2025, that's the government moving fast.
Yeah, agreed.
Which we know doesn't happen.
Yeah. Wait, but they're good at everything.
Yeah.
They're
good at stalling.
Yes.
Let's drop down the comments here, and we do have another question, but let's say hello to more people. If you guys would hit the like button, I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone here. Oh, Michael Montclair is here. Welcome to Michael Montclair. Let's go ahead and share my screen real quick. I'll show Michael Montclair. Let's see here. Window. So congratulations to Michael Montclair, ctnnetwork.net. You are now one of the creators on there. You can see Michael Montclair if you like to listen to Frank Sinatra. He sounds like him. And you can subscribe to his YouTube channel right here at Michael Montclair. But yeah, I'm going to blow this up because it's a little hard to see Waddy right here. So is this the call-in show or next week? I think what we'll do is when Max is back on, we'll do the call-in because I'm going to be like answering the calls. It'll be a little bit easier when he's on the show. So we'll do that. But yeah, we do have the call-in feature. It's ready to go. It's just easier when Max is either running the show or Max and I are here together because I'm going to be the one taking the calls. Let's see here. Let's go back a little bit. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here. I think I got everybody here. Oh no, Chaka's here. Chaka's here. Let's say hello to Chaka real quick. And he is also over here in the creator page. I think he's right here on the top here. So you guys can subscribe to Chaka at Chaka Crypto right there. All right. So good stuff there. We do have another question. I'm going to scan back up and try to find that question because I think I didn't star it. Let's see here. Let's see. Well, while I'm looking for that, here it is. KK. Guys, if you would hit the like button. KK says, thoughts on these proposals that are being spitballed actually becoming law. If it goes through Congress, it will take years. All right, so it's more of a statement.
That's what we were just saying.
Yeah. What about the CBDC is going on? Well, I think everybody already answered that. That's my opinion too. I don't think it's ready, anywhere near ready. Maybe 2024, 2025.
Well, it depends. Obviously, it depends on what country you're in, Ryan. Because some countries are going to launch theirs first. There's going to be a first out there and a second and a third, and you're going to see others learning from from the others that came before them, and it could very well be the UK. They're really, and they're still, I'm going to say, at least a year from testing, and maybe starting to implement. And then when they do, it's going to be on a limited basis because they don't want to. all of these countries, including the U.S., really have to make sure that they don't overload the system, create a panic, come out with a CBDC, and that all of the citizens of those countries, feel like, oh, they must be doing this because there's a crash coming, because the dollar or the fiat, whatever fiat they have, there's something wrong with it. So they're all going to just funnel in as quickly as possible to some CBDC, and it's going to actually crash the monetary system that they've got set up that isn't really ready, for a full transfer. So it's going to take some time. It really is.
Yeah, and I'm with Sean. I think you're going to see countries kind of step this in. United States definitely will not be the first, but
no,
the UK they're moving pretty quick. Africa's actually moving pretty well too, with going to digital currency. So, I just think, but I'm with Sean too. I don't think you're going to see full all out. One day you have money, next day you have a CBDC. That's just not going to happen. But as far as regulation goes, which ones do I think is going to pass the fastest? I think in the United States, you're going to see the custodial wallets for the custodians for the SEC be pushed through this year. I think it'll be pushed through this year, and I think it'll be pushed through pretty quick.
You're talking about like having JP Morgan be a custodian for crypto, like an official. Maybe some banks, obviously Kraken, I believe, is looking to be a bank if they're not already considered. And Coinbase, of course, I think is going to be one of the big players out there.
Yeah, and where you have to have that clear division between the exchange and the custodian. Right. There has to be a clear firewall. So the exchange isn't actually hanging on to your crypto. Your custodian is actually, and the exchange is just making a transfer. I think that, and the reason why I think that'll happen fast is because it's already implemented on the stock market side. So the framework's already there. They just have to plunk it over to the cryptocurrency exchange side.
Yeah, but this is the thing, like, so they're attacking crypto, right? Obviously, but there's also one part that doesn't make sense. For example, the JP Morgan custodial wallet. Then also Bank of America is gonna have a Bitcoin pay utility bills ATM. And it's gonna be right there. So whatever bill you gotta pay, you could pay with crypto. So it just doesn't make sense on which direction they're really trying to go forward with, because they're sending mixed signal.
Well, that's the same direction. I mean, they're all banks. They're all considered banks. But I think what they want is they don't want centralized exchanges that aren't banks, that aren't regulated, to hold anybody's crypto. They're going to say, nope, you can't use it on Binance.us.
You think about it like this: when you go to Fidelity, right, and you make a trade on Fidelity, let's say you buy Tesla. Fidelity is not holding your Tesla. You just made that exchange on Tesla. The broker that is connected to Fidelity is actually holding your Tesla stock, which means it's backed up dollar for dollar, right? Fidelity, you had to give your money to the Fidelity exchange. They took their fees. The broker went out. They purchased your Tesla. The broker's holding your stock. That's exactly how the cryptocurrency exchanges will operate. They're not going to hold your crypto anymore. It'll be in these brokerage accounts, which is why there has to be a clear firewall between the exchange and the brokerage account. So Coinbase is already doing this. They already have a brokerage account. Their brokerage, they hold for BlackRock. They hold for a bunch of other people. This isn't it. It actually protects me and you. If Coinbase goes bankrupt, they don't take my crypto with them.
And they're not trading with. They're not going to be allowed to trade with your crypto either, which puts it at risk, which is why we've had all these failures.
Right. Yep. So that's why I think that'll be the first one to go. I think it's an easy pass. I think it's an easy win. So I do think the United States will implement it. And then I can see other countries very well duplicating it really, really fast.
Let's get into another question. Thoughts on Robinhood? So they got a subpoena the other day. And what's your thoughts from the SEC? What's your thoughts on the SEC going after Robinhood? and how does this affect other things like PayPal, Cash App? I know Cash App you can get Bitcoin on. I have a little bit of Bitcoin actually on Cash App, which is kind of strange.
Well,
but how does this going to affect mass adoption? This question comes from Daniel Gayton. So what are your thoughts on the SEC sort of saber rattling and going after Robinhood?
well, I did read the whole article on my channel yesterday. I think, like I said, it's just the timing. But going after Robinhood directly, I don't know. I like, okay, I get it, Robinhood to have stocks and everything, but when it comes to crypto, they are limited to certain states. Like New York, for example, is the most limited state when it comes to cryptocurrency. So honestly speaking, just my opinion, I think it's a joke. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Either the sect really wants money, and that's why they're going after all these exchanges, or they're really trying real hard to stop crypto. It's either one or two. Because the majority of these people, like, I can understand going after FTX. What they did there was bad. I can understand finally going after Do Kwon because of the Luna situation. But going after Robinhood, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's the same, but it's the same thing as everything else, right? They're trying to scare everybody, hoping Robinhood will say, "Hey, you know what? We'll just cut our crypto program, so you guys can leave us alone." Obviously, Robinhood's not going to do that. They're a big enough company that they've got pockets. So I think that's what they're going to do. I don't know, and it's based on the fact that Gary Gensler and I'm sure a few others in the SEC really believe that all crypto is securities. So if Robinhood is holding this crypto that's other than Bitcoin, they're holding illegal securities, and that's kind of why the message they're trying to send.
Yeah, and I think this hurts the cryptocurrency industry if Robinhood folds or loses this, because just like Larry said, he has Bitcoin on Cash App, right? How many people are holding Bitcoin, like Litecoin, Ethereum on PayPal, right? And then you have it on Robinhood, and then you have it on trading apps like Moomoo and all these other stock market trading apps that people use started to implement cryptocurrency, which kind of brings it to the mainstream. And if Robinhood loses or folds, this could hurt all of that and really could make cryptocurrency take a step backwards. How many people use Robinhood that are investing in crypto that would never invest on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or something like that? They invest in it because that's where they invest in their stocks, and it's there, and they put money in it, right? And then they start to learn more and more about cryptocurrency and move on to centralized exchanges and then the DeFi space. These things, it really could make cryptocurrency take a step backwards, out of the mainstream. So, and I don't know. I think that this could potentially be bad. I'm actually happy that they went after Robinhood, because I think Robinhood will put a fight up. I actually think that they'll actually put a fight up, and instead of just laying down. If you would have went after somebody like a Cash App, they may have laid down. They may not have had the funds to fight the SEC.
Yeah, but you know what?
So
Going after Cash App, like, not for nothing, but with so many scams that's going on there, I'm okay with them going after Cash App.
But I don't think that we can pick and choose regulation either, right?
Well, remember, guys, we can't have it both ways, right? If we want custodial to be solid and safe and secure, then a lot of these places that offer Bitcoin or offer whatever currencies, cryptocurrencies, they're going to have to go away. They're going to have to give it up. That's going to happen. But the SEC and Congress created this problem to begin with because there were no rules. So everybody thought, well, there's no rules. I can just throw it on my platform and sell it like everybody else is selling it and make a profit. So that's where this came from.
But somebody like Robinhood, it's very easy for them to get a brokerage, right? They obviously
Yeah,
have
they
a
can
brokerage.
conform and
Yeah.
comply with the SEC rules.
That's easy. So, and that's what I was about to say too, Sean. Like, you can't have it both ways, right? We can't say we should have went after FTX, but we shouldn't regulate exchanges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, if the proper procedures were put in place, FTX, Voyager, all that stuff would have never happened in the United States. It would have never affected the United States customers or, whoever else has regulations. So, you can't just go after the bad actors without fixing the problem.
Right. Yeah, you just let them keep committing crimes and then go after them when they commit crimes, but you don't create any ground rules or laws for them to follow.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, they've created the problem and now they're coming in with a solution, but there really isn't a solution yet.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the SEC. Like, I think the way that they're going about it is terrible. It's terrible the way that they're going about it. But I don't necessarily disagree with the regulations that they're thinking about. Like, I think centralized exchanges should be regulated. You cannot regulate DeFi, but you can regulate centralized exchanges. You can regulate these things to keep people's money safe. I don't necessarily disagree with a custodial wallet. Actually, I'm all for that. I'm all for a broker. I'm all for things like that. So it doesn't bother me. I actually think it's good. I actually think it'll push the cryptocurrency market forward.
Before we get into the next question, let's say hello to Miguel. Miguel has just joined us here. He says hello to everybody. Welcome back to Miguel. And so the next question again comes from Daniel. Now, I believe it's built using Optimism, right? The Coinbase has launched just recently a layer 2 blockchain. Interestingly enough, what's your thoughts on Coinbase's layer 2? If anybody wants to grab that one.
I mean, it could be good and bad, right? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's basically going to use the Ethereum, as gas fees. So I don't know if that's a great thing, and they're not going to have their own token, which is probably good, on their part. And they're looking to decentralize it, I guess, as they grow it out. So, and it's going to be useful for multiple blockchains. Solana, I don't know if that's one of the best to pick, but they've got. They've got something going on, and obviously they're building. I like to see Coinbase building because I do like the way that they're pushing back against the SEC and kind of fighting for what they believe is right in this industry. And I agree with a lot of things they do, and some things not. But I think overall it's a positive.
All right. Well, anybody else want to, Wadi?
No, I mean, I like that, they came out with their own layer 2 blockchain, which hopefully it will make transactions, especially if it's multiple chain, it will make the transaction easier, because from what I noticed in the time I got using Coinbase, they only allow transfer in, like, for example, USDC. They only allow the transfer in ETH, the Ethereum blockchain. So if this means that their new blockchain, you'll be able to transfer USDC for a cheaper price, then heck yeah, I'm up for it. And also, guys, do check out the Coinbase wallet if you have it, because they are allowing you to mint a free NFT based on Base. Yeah.
I have to check that out. I have it. I never use it, but I have it.
Yeah. I just bought mine. Well, not bought it. I paid gas fee like $4, but it's free.
But I think Coinbase's layer 2 blockchain is going to be huge. I think it's a big step forward for Coinbase. They're calling it super chain. It's going to be interoperable. That's the one thing that they came out with right off the bat, and so that their interoperability was key for them. I think they also stated that it was going to be easy for people to build dApps on there. It was going to be user friendly and easy, which when you think about some of your creators of dApps and things like that, why wouldn't they build on top of the Coinbase Layer 2 with the built-in user base that's there already? I think they're going to be a really, really, really big player in the Layer 2 game. And I love the fact, I shouldn't say I love it. It's interesting that they're not using their native token. Do they know something nobody else knows? I guess that's the question out there, right?
Yeah, they actually know that the SEC will go after them. And
they're poking the bear enough as it is. I think they're trying to keep that on the down low a little bit.
And it's interesting, that they hit their stake. The SEC hit staking, and that's a big thing for Coinbase and some of their staking platforms. So do they roll their staking mechanisms over to their Layer 2 DeFi world? That's a question too. That could that be big over there on the DeFi space? And I think that everything Coinbase will be connected into their Layer 2, and I think that's gonna increases Coinbase's foothold in what's going on. I mean, you think about it. If you want to buy BNB on Coinbase right now, you can't, but it'll take you right to their DeFi wallet so that you can buy it, right? So that's all interconnected. So I think the Layer 2 is going to be no different. It's going to be interconnected with all the rest of their their centralized exchange, their wallet, and all that stuff. So I think it's going to be big for Coinbase. I think it's going to be bigger than what people think. I think, and it's going to give a lot of Layer 2s a run for their money.
All right, thank you. Let's say hello to a couple more people. Richard is here, 365. Thank you so much for being here. Bobby Lorette is here as well, and I think that's everybody here. Cool Cat Crypto just joined us. Cool Cat Crypto, welcome. Crypto McDizzle. Really?
What's going on, Cool Cat, man? Glad to see you in the chat, man.
What up, Cool Cat? How is BSB going?
Yeah, Realio Network up 24%. Time's ticking for cheap, life-changing money. I think that's what the one that Max did the other day. Let's see here. It puts the cat bowl out. All right. I do have a quick question from, I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but I know Miguel has asked the other day. Have you guys heard of or checked out Affinity Coin? I mentioned it to Max. I think he's going to check it out, but I have it up on the screen. I don't think you guys are familiar with it. It looks like,
interesting.
Yeah, it's something small. It's on the BNB chain. Hopefully I got the right one up here, but it's only a $3.4 million fully diluted market cap. So we don't have any actual market cap numbers, but I don't know if you guys had it. You probably didn't have a chance to check this out. So I don't think we're prepared to talk about it today, Miguel, but we appreciate the question anyway. And we'll have to look at it.
I'll definitely check it out. And I know I didn't get to write the question, but this is my question.
Okay, cool.
Why do you think CZ is being targeted?
That's a good one.
Well, the SEC has to be able to take down Goliath, right? They gotta look like they have some sort of control or sway over Goliath in the industry, and that's the way it always goes. And they know they really can't do anything. They can kind of limit what he does in the U.S. But if they can go after, let's say, subsidiaries of his and try to affect other side businesses that he's got, they're going to try to do that. So they're going to throw as much FUD as they can his way and see if they can get anything to stick, or see if they can get some other companies that are associated with them to pull back and to cut some of his power. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think CZ is the Goliath, and the SEC obviously is going after the Goliath of crypto. And I think CZ scares the daylights out of the United States. How much power he has and how big he is in the cryptocurrency industry. I think he scares the daylights out of them. And the faster they can get him out of the United States, the better off I think the SEC thinks that they'll be. But I don't see CZ taking this laying down either. I think he's going to fight back. CZ doesn't strike me as a guy who was bullied in school and just walked away. I've always said this, and I believe this. I think CZ's best move is to buy a bank in the United States.
Yeah. So, and then Larry, if you want to answer the question yourself, but this is what I think. I think, yeah, they are going after it because obviously CZ is the biggest guy in crypto. Binance is the biggest exchange in crypto. And on top of that, I also think that there's a lot of salty government people that are really pissed off about the whole FTX debacle. And that's even the bigger reason why they really attacking Sissy right now.
Could be.
Yeah.
A lot of government people lost a lot of money
And look bad doing it. Yeah.
and it looked terrible doing it.
And who called that out? Sissy.
Yeah. I personally believe CZ is great for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and you know what I like about him, like for example, I do agree with you, Daniel. He's not the type like he probably if somebody tried to got to bully him, he probably just came back with yeah, okay. But actually, Kucha Boy, you know, that was proven that those funds was of a customer and not what the article made it seem like it was him. So he even explained in that article Forbes attack and he replied. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think CC has been doing a lot of great things and he's been making so many connections around the world. Like he right about now they're thinking of opening a Korean, yeah, South Korean exchange down there. And obviously he got access to damn it, I want to make sure it's the right one. But there was a country not too long ago, like 2, 3 weeks. Daniel, I don't know if you remember, but CC got approved over there too to open up an exchange.
Yeah, I can't remember where, but I remember it was in another country. He was getting ready to roll Binance out too.
Yep.
But you know, that going back to the articles that was there was an article about CZ where he was filtering money and paying back debt where he shouldn't have. He quickly squashed that with blockchain data. And that to me was a perfect example of media taking a story and leaving out pieces to spin it to make it sound like they want it to sound.
Yep.
And the only difference was with CZ has enough backing and enough knowledge that he can actually pull the blockchain data where these reporters aren't smart enough to look at that in a way that's they make sense out of it, and he can explain the transactions and why they happened. And so he actually made them guys look pretty dumb. So I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, this whole time since FTX, I guarantee whatever he's done wrong or missteps he as a company may have made in the past. I guarantee you, he's cleaning all that up as quickly as possible. And he, maybe he hasn't made too many mistakes. Maybe he's been running the straight and narrow. I don't really know, but I guarantee you right now he is, just to make sure that there isn't any loose strings out there that they can play the gotcha game like they're trying to do.
When articles in the media, and this is just for the audience and for myself, I always like to remind people of this. When articles are written and they point to your nationality, usually there's a hidden agenda behind that.
Yeah, no, and that's
every article that blasts CZ, there's always a reference in there about his nationality. So ask yourself why they're doing that before you put any more credence into that article. What are they trying to prove?
Yeah, but it's funny because actually what I noticed is the pattern. Like right after FTX was called out, then all of a sudden they started coming out with article about CZ. He's doing this, he's done that, he that. But you know what I like? He doesn't hide. He comes out and say, you know what? This is what happened. This is the proof. Now what do you have to say? So even okay, the US could ban like Miguel said, they could ban Binance and they can even ban Binance US, but at the end of the day, dude, you're just only taking it out of the United States, but every other country in the world, from what I'm looking at, CZ is establishing establishing and conducting establishing relationship and conducting businesses out there. So I feel like what they're trying to do is stop Binance from continuing its growth until the point that it gets out of their control.
Well, this reminds me of Ripple, right? The United States can
Yeah.
only do what the United States can do, right? And what we're finding out through businesses like Binance and Ripple is, for as strong and powerful as the United States thinks that their financial system is, if people spread out throughout other countries and make themselves just as viable in multiple other countries, when you look at Ripple and you look at Binance's balance sheet, the United States revenue is a drop in the bucket to them. They could hack that off their revenue sheet and not even miss a night's sleep. So, you know, we got to be careful, you know, when we talk about these things, because, you know, Binance US, CZ could stop trading on that and he would still go to bed at 10 o'clock and nothing would affect him. And it's the same with Ripple. If Ripple doesn't operate in the United States, what's that going to do to their balance sheet? Not too much of anything, because they're not operating here now. So
Agreed.
So yeah, interesting stuff. I have a microcap to share with you guys. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I know Max just did a video on it today or yesterday. And guys, if you would just hit the like button while we're there, while you're listening to this. You're here anyway, so at least it's free. But have you guys heard of this one here, Relio Network? I know Crypto McDizzle keeps talking about it. It's up 24%, but it got my attention because it's a microcap. It's only 688,000. I'm just looking at it for the first time now. Have any of you guys seen this?
Never even heard of it.
Nope.
Never even heard of it.
Well, if you go over to their website, here it is here, relio.fund. It says they've got some partners that are definitely recognizable: Algorand, Stellar, Prime Trust, Fusion, Zero. So they're partnered up with some good ones. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to take a closer look at this. But thank you, Crypto Mike. And then also he tagged us on Twitter, or tagged me on Twitter. Let's see if I can find where it is here. He's got pictures of us right here on Twitter at Crypto Mike.
Crypto
I guess
Mike,
we're little children or something, or babies or something.
that is funny.
I like it. I
gotta look it up now.
There's Iceberg Smith, Sean, okay, and then Daniel Gayton, and then this is me and Waddy.
I like it. I like it. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's good.
Funny
That's good.
stuff. So, but yeah, that's definitely one that's got my attention. Are you guys messing around with any small caps or micro caps right now that you want to mention?
Just one.
You know, I've been really looking into Bello, and they're actually under the Stellar blockchain. So they made a partnership with Visa and a couple of other companies. I forgot the name. I married something like that. So yeah, I could see a future happening there. Bello.
I got a final question here. This is from Sean. Thoughts on the let's see right here, the project like Monero and other anonymous tokens. Are they good for crypto? Because this was the original intention, was to keep everything anonymous. What's your thoughts on Monero and things being anonymous? Is it good for crypto, or does it run into problems in terms of
Well,
security and things of that nature? I mean, does there need to be more regulation, or does it need to stay anonymous like it was intended, crypto?
yeah, the thing with Monero, like there was already a big scandal on it. I forgot if it was a queen or a princess, whatever, that got kidnapped or something. This was a couple of years back. I don't know if you know the story, Sean. But the point is that the people that had the princess or the queen or whatever it was, they was actually asking for Monero as payment because
Yeah.
obviously they didn't want to be traced down. So I mean, I don't know if you think about privacy coin and the name says it all. If the FCC still keeps coming after securities, wouldn't that be more or less considered something like a security or risk?
Yeah, well, that was my the question was, yeah, is it good for crypto in the sense that the OGs that are in crypto, they got in because it was the Wild West and it was decentralized and was supposed to be away from the government and give you some sort of that separation there, I guess, financial independence from the government, but it doesn't keep those kind of people interested still in crypto, or is it bad for crypto now?
I can see this both ways because I always like to go back to the root of crypto and why it was developed, right? And like Sean said, it was financial freedom and being able to control your own assets. But you also have to go back to, as things evolve, right, and things grow, it's much like a business. You have to reevaluate what's good for the business, and does the business continue to grow in its current atmosphere? And crypto is no longer a small player in the game. It's grown to the point where it's a big asset class, and you have to comply with certain rules, regulations when you're trading things. I just don't think that I like the privacy tokens, but I just don't think that they'll survive the regulatory scrutiny that they'll be under. So I think they'll go away. So I don't, whether they're good for crypto or not good for crypto, I think is, to me, in my thought process, is really irrelevant. I mean, when you look at a security and you go to fill out the application, what's the first two things they ask you? Name and social security number, right? So you have to be able to identify yourself. And I don't think that operating on a blockchain with complete security of people not knowing who you are anymore is going to be the same way that we operate in a blockchain in 2025, 2026. I think them days are gone. And as all OGs in every sport and every business, sometimes it's time for the OGs to step aside and allow for the new generation to take over. And that's probably what will end up happening.
Yeah, they get replaced, right? They always do, right? Just like us in the industry, us in the in the crypto world, we'll all be replaced by another generation who will do, maybe you put some more emphasis on something else that's important, and move forward, without us, and we'll be, back here, screaming and hollering about how we used to, hike 5 miles uphill to school every day. And so, yeah, it's, I just don't think, just like you said, Daniel, there's not going to be any place for it. yes, it was very popular in the beginning of crypto, and that was kind of the reason it started. That was the biggest portion of crypto out there, but now it is really the absolute minutest portion of crypto now, and no government is going to allow it to happen. Long term, they're gonna put their foot down on that one.
Let's say hello to Mr. MD. Our thoughts and prayers go out for your ill mother. Thank you for being here, Mr. MD. Let's see here. I think I've said hello to everybody here that we've mentioned.
Can I just say something to Selmo?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Selmo, I am always grinding, man. I'm always grinding. The grind doesn't stop until I go to bed.
Yeah, and I want to answer Selmo's question. He said, "Hey, Sean, do you still have stablecoin?" I think he's referring to Stable Fund, which was my DGen play from a while ago. And there is no, I mean, it doesn't exist anymore. I know he came out with something on Telegram saying, "Oh, they're still going to get the money back, and everybody's going to get a refund and all that." But I'm not over here holding my breath. So I think I've moved on from that one.
Yeah. Selmo, it's funny you say that though, because even when I'm working, I'm blowing up Waddy's phone with everything that's going on in the crypto world. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? So, the grind never stops,
Welcome to who just showed up here. Cash Cats is here. Hello to you. Let's talk about these gentlemen here that are on the screen, part of the round table. Let's go over and take a look at each of their YouTube channels right off of ctnnetwork.net in the creators button. Just click on creators button, and you've got Daniel Gayton right here. This is his YouTube channel. It's at Daniel Gayton 4628. All right, so Daniel Space Gayton. Daniel, what do you want to talk about as far as things you're working on for your channel, things you're covering, anything you want to mention about your YouTube channel and Twitter?
Covering a lot of Alliance Block, obviously MMAI, trying to cover a little bit more of the bone situation with Shibarium coming out. Have the morning show, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Try to get on there every morning, have a great conversation and just go over the pre-markets and any news that came out. So it's a good time. It's just a good conversation. Just try to get everybody up and moving for the day. So that's kind of where we're at, and we're just covering whatever's out there. All
right, cool. Thank you again, Daniel, for being here. And
as far as Twitter goes, we are holding Twitter Spaces. Me and Waddy on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have Tuesdays. Waddy has Thursdays. So gonna start to probably think about rolling out more and more Twitter Spaces just about general crypto conversation.
And what time are those on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Perfect. Awesome. All right.
Trying to get Sean up there on a crypto space to come up and have a chat with us.
I've not done it yet. I know it's weird, but it's funny. I'm not really a mobile guy. I like to sit in front of the my computer, my desktop. But I will.
It's interesting that you say that, yeah, because we're looking into something that can kind of mimic an Android, where we can use Twitter Spaces through the PC. Because I'm the same way. I would prefer just to go in through the PC rather than the phone. So we'll let you know if we figure that out, Sean. We'll let you know how we can do that.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we're looking into it right now. But yeah, here it is right here. The Crypto Smith at the Crypto Smith. This is Sean, of course. Tell us about your channel, your YouTube. What you're working on and what you're hoping to cover in the near future.
So me, mainly ISO tokens, anything, near that, I guess that's what I focus on. Obviously you're talking about Stable Fund from before, I had a couple of DGen plays in there. I made a little money on it, but like all of those DGen plays, they go belly up at some point. But yeah, XRP, obviously that's a big one for me. And MMAI, I'm going to be covering for quite some time. So lots of good content on that. And then I've got, what I got? I got my Saturday live stream, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So join me there. And then on Mondays, I've got Utility Talk Now on this very channel with Max. at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about mainly ISO tokens. And we were going to just stick to ISO 222 tokens, but we may go off script a little bit and bring in some other content. So look for that.
All right, good stuff. Thank you again for being here, Sean. And let's grab Wadi right here. Wadi the Crypto Hunter. So, and you can find him at Wadi the Crypto Hunter. All right, so you got over the 1,000. We talked about that last week. What are your plans for your channel at this point? What are you covering, and what do you hope to cover in the near future?
Yeah, well, I'm still, like, for example, I'm covering some of the micro cap tokens, especially, you know, if they decide to sponsor me. But I do cover also a lot of MMA. I love B chain, so I'm gonna try to cover more B chain than anything. I think they have a super potential, and it has been a sleeping giant for a good minute now. I do a little bit of everything: technical analysis, blue chips, micro caps, a show for one-on-one artists. You know, if you like art, it's called Show Me Your Art. I haven't brought it up in a minute, but definitely, if you go to playlist, actually, you'll be able to see it there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Show me
Um,
your.
yeah, so definitely do a lot of crypto talk and just cover some of the news too in general. So that's it.
All right, cool stuff. Well, thank you again, Wadi, for being here. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and blow up the screen here. We had a good show. We have 30 people still here. If you guys would hit the like button on the way out, we'll put up a couple more comments here. Cash says the SEC is not meant to protect retail. They are for the banking and the institutional machines. I agree with that. Welcome to Johan. He says, great show. Thank you for being here. And let's see, Mr. MD says, my bank, for example, cites the FTX situation as a reason to put restrictions on how we spend our money. Yeah,
And I know Mass Debater had a point that obviously, you know, we talk about regulations, and that's pretty much just here in the U.S., but the UK is also going to be doing the same thing. They're going to come down on a lot of different cryptos once stable coins come out, the CBDC that they want to do over the next year or two, and they're going to start cracking down on crypto as well, guaranteed.
Yeah.
This is in the United States only, and you know
it'll start here, and then it'll trickle out through a lot of the first world countries, basically.
I mean, I kind of would say yes, and I also think no, because when you think about it, when crypto did start, it was so we could have control, not the governments. So eventually, if some way, somehow we could take it back there again, then there's no way. It doesn't matter if the United States bans it permanently, but the rest of the world accepting it, it's just going to get to a point where if the rest of the world start doing more transaction in crypto than the US dollar, they're gonna have to jump in.
Here's a prime example of that. The United States doesn't like staking, right, from Kraken, and the UK is already talking about putting in staking regulations. So here's the thing, Wadi, you're one of them OGs, man.
You're going to get replaced, Wadi. I'm telling you.
You're one of them.
They're coming to replace you, man. They're coming to replace you.
Crypto's changing.
Yeah, Wadi does have that OG mentality, though, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, honestly speaking, like,
we need you fighting for it, Wadi. We do.
It's basically, yeah, that's it. You know, freedom, especially financial freedom. And listen, the way I see it is, there's an old saying says, if you can beat them, join them. So if these people just start following whatever the United States does, just for the alphabet, then Yeah, that's really gonna suck. But if there's a stronger community out there that really believes in crypto, like I don't know if you guys heard about Coinbase 435.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I think I've heard of
Coinbase.
it. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
That's Coinbase's incentive. They're trying to rally up the community.
Oh, yeah.
Coinbase only
So,
going to go. Coinbase only going to go so far because they're traded on a New York Stock Exchange. And when Gary looks at him and tells him to shut it down, or it'll affect the relationship on the stock exchange, Coinbase will shut it down.
Yeah, and they're doing that in the country that has the least interest in crypto at this point, the U.S. As far as retail goes.
yeah, well, what I'm was trying to say, if they actually start doing that outside the United States and just do like I don't know, a world leader committee or something like that, eventually the United States might just say, you know what? If I can beat them, I might as well join them.
Yeah, that's what the United States does. They don't do that. Yeah. Yeah. If we can't beat them, then we're going to bring in the military and then we'll beat them.
Yeah. The United States says we'll make the rules. We'll try to make the rules for everybody. And if you try to make the rules first, then we'll just come in and make new rules and destroy the whole system anyways. And mess up and we'll mess up the whole regulatory process, regulations in the process. So
for sure.
Yeah.
You'll take a 5-page document and make it a 600-page document so nobody understands it.
Exactly. Kind of like what they do with taxes, right?
Yeah.
Tab Cunningham, welcome. He says we need a president that is for crypto in the U.S. and get Gary out of the SEC.
Yeah, and that's another point right there. How long do you think Gary is going to be sitting there?
As long as he's pushing the agenda that they want him to push.
Okay, well, eventually, because I know not every part of the government is really against crypto. There are some that actually like crypto. So if it comes to that, is as easy as just let's replace him and somebody else.
Remember, it's not an anti-crypto thing with him or with Congress or with the government. If you want to just talk about the government in general, they're trying to corral, crypto to Wall Street, to the banks, so that they can control it more. That's really what they want to do. They don't want to ban it. They just want to tax it, and they want to control it.
Right.
And they want
that's what they're doing with all this stuff. I think they're stalling to give the big guys an opportunity to get their ducks in a row, so to speak.
Yeah.
This whole thing is just, being slowed down with the ISOs and everything, the CBDCs, and it's all. I mean, the government doesn't do anything fast, so they need more time.
And if you look at what they're actually saying, if you just take your emotions out of it and you take a step back and you just look at what they're actually saying, it makes sense. These staking platforms with these high APYs are unsustainable. So why do we allow them, right? Why do we allow them when they're unsustainable? Why not regulate them, right? Why are we allowing these cryptocurrencies exchanges to operate differently than we're allowing these brokerage accounts to operate on the stock exchange? So if you just take a step back and you go, what are they actually trying to accomplish? You get a different perspective.
Yeah.
To thank everybody for being here again. Thank you again, Sean. Thank you, Waddy, and thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody that watched here. If you guys would hit the like button on the way out. We'll see you again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care.
See you, everyone.
Have a good one, everyone.
Everybody have a great night.
Peace.